Welcome back to another episode of Tuesday's Tips. I'm Jeremy Bailey, your Flying Realtor. Today is week 6 in our mini-series for the top 10 things you should do when you're either buying a home or selling a home. Let's jump on over to the studio to get those tips. All right, thank you, Suzanne, for coming on for another episode of Tuesday's Tips. I'm going to talk about the seller tip today, and I'm going to toss the buyer tip over to you for my seller tip. This is super important, and it's super easy unless you have 20-foot ceilings. Inside and outside your home, please replace your light bulbs. And if you have a multi-light fixture, have them match. When a potential buyer walks into a house, and especially if there's a multi-light fixture and there's a light bulb out, it throws off alarm bells and they think, well, if they can't replace a light bulb, what else aren't they taking care of? So outside your house and inside your home, make sure you're replacing your light bulbs. And if the fixture's broken, replace it. And if you want some ideas as to what the best light fixture to put up in that space to get the best bang for your buck, talk to your real estate agent. You know, many of us, like myself, we've rehabbed many properties. So we're not going to have you go out and spend $1,000 on a light fixture, but we're going to help you find the best light fixture for your money. And now for the buyer's tip, I'm going to toss it over to you, Suzanne. And what do you have for us?
Buyer's tip this week, Jeremy, is if you're going to be going out over the weekend, make certain that you have an updated pre-approval. And you also want to make sure that you're working with a lender that'll communicate with the listing agent. I'll give an example of what I do. I will call the listing agent, talk up the buyer. If the listing agent doesn't pick up, I'll send a video and speak to the effect that all the buyer's vetting's been done, all financials have been looked at, and we can close in X amount of timeline. Depending on the loan program, there are some loan programs that are able to close in under 30 days. There are some where no appraisals needed. So in this market, it's important to figure out like, hey, what's my timeline? And do I have the updated pre-approval letter before I'm going out there and shopping?
You know, that's an excellent point. You actually made 2 points there, so I want to make sure everyone heard them. It's one, make sure you give your lender permission to speak with a listing agent when you're putting in an offer. I do mainly listings, but I do work with buyers as well. But on the listing side, nothing warms my heart more when a lender is preemptive in reaching out to me. And it gives me a chance to one-on-one kind of grill them a little bit. You know, we do have, a form that we have, lenders fill out just to make sure they've done their homework with their borrowers. Because you'd be amazed, Suzanne, if I told you how many lenders out there don't do their due diligence and we run into heartaches, down the road. So outside of that one letter, if I have a lender calling me and I get to ask, hey, how about this? How about that? How about this? How about that? Not only yes or no questions, but I'm listening to see how thorough they've actually done their homework. So that's great when a lender such as yourself is preemptive. That's gold right there. That is absolute gold. And on the other thing you mentioned is if you're going out to look that weekend, make sure your lender knows, because you could be 30, 40 days into this and you haven't gotten an updated pre-approval letter yet. So you need to talk to your lender. They might need some new documents from you, and you need a recent date on the document, because as a listing agent, we want to know that you are ready to go if you're going to be putting in an offer. And in this market, you better be ready to put that offer in quickly. And I lost my train of thought, but whatever. Just get that offer in quickly, because you're going to lose out, because offers are flying in sometimes even before they even see the house. So nowadays, it's absolutely absurd. So you got to be ready.
You're absolutely right about that, Jeremy, for sure.
All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tuesday's Tips. I'm Jeremy Bailey, your Flying Realtor. Remember to keep your wings level, and I gotta fly.